Hello friends and family, my name is gamerisdc and this is Arabia. So what I'm about to show is a potential 18 pop Scouts Malian build which I recently theory crafted, and I am wondering if the validity of this build is alright. Now let's talk a bit about this build and about the Malians in general. So the idea behind this build is that you actually want to get as much damage in as possible with Malian scouts before following it up with Malian knights. Now the reason why this build is so strong because Malian have a civilization bonus that have reduced cost to their buildings, or they have this wood discount is going to be one of the key factors as to how this build is theory crafted. So first off, we actually want to start looking around for our wood line as well as our boar. We found our boar, so we're going to send the rally point to the boar very shortly. So the thing about this build is, unlike a normal build, this is a very stressed build, which means that your resource management is going to be very tight for this build. However, when you pull it off perfectly, you can actually do a lot of decent damage and actually get you up to a pretty decent castle time despite going scouts in the early game. Okay, so there's a better wood line there. And the pathfinding kind of worked against my favor over there. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to pull the boar at 7 instead of the usual 11 or 10. And the idea behind it is that you want to get as much food out as possible so that you have more than enough food to go scouts. So we're going to start building the lumber camp now. Okay, good, very good. Now one of the best things about this build is that you essentially can sheep scout a lot longer because you won't be using your sheep as much. Right, we have found some cows. Okay, so you can see this is almost looks like a regular scout build. The only difference is that since this is Malians, and because we pulled the boar earlier, we are also going to have more cows. Very nice. Since we pulled the boar earlier, we're also going to have a lot more food early on, which means that going up to feudal is going to be faster, and having a more stable scout build is going to be better. Now this build can get countered by a drush, but because Malians are known for their drushes, you are very unlikely to see other civs drush as well. So now the ball is coming close, we're going to start shooting it and make sure it lands right under the TC. Perfect. Okay, and now we're going to take a mill. So a normal build would be free on berries, but for this one, because we are stretching the feudal a bit, we're going to go on 4. If you look at my map, I have a nice back gold and a back stone and some back deer as well, so this is going to be quite nice for this build. Just make sure you build the house with your 11th Vill. Sorry, your 12th Vill, because 6 on sheep, 1 pull ball, 3 wood, then you pull the ball, and then after that you build a house, you send for the berries, and now you start taking the herdables. I'm just gonna reposition the Vills a bit. So we're gonna go up at a very tight time. But it should get the job done. So one thing to note is that you are gonna have very stretched on wood for this particular build. So you are gonna need you're only going to use 1 lumber camp compared to the usual 2. Now this could be bad, like I said, it could be very bad, especially if your opponent opens drush. But like I said, if you have a feeling that your opponent will go drush me because of the lineup, or maybe because you're Malians, and this build is going to be very deadly. Okay, now we research loom. Okay, and you're about to see some lovely magic with the food. Okay, so you are going to have to be forced to fast drop here. So just make sure you fast drop all the food. Now you go up at 18 pop at 6 minutes. So we're gonna disguise this as a normal build. So around this time, the Malian player will normally lay down their barracks. So about 7 minutes. So that's more than enough time for us to go. Now instead of taking the next cow, we're gonna put the Vills on wood. You can also take straggler trees. So this build is very flexible. But the idea is you want to get your stable up as soon as you hit feudal. So this is a very fast build. Of course, if your enemy is smart, he will small wall their rest. But usually because you hit so fast with this build, it will be quite hard to counter. I have a feeling he's over here. I'm also playing on hard AI, not extreme AI. But if it was extreme, I still think I can beat the extreme AI. All I just need to do is add a range and maybe go some skirms for the spears. I could also potentially go for a full wall build, which is also fine. I'm gonna play open just to show you that it is possible to play this open as well. Oops, bit of inefficiency of the Vills here. So you can see that I just have enough wood to go for the stable, so now we're going to assign a Vill to build that stable. So you can see that the build is much faster than your average build. Problem is, this build is also a very stretched build, like I said, so if you cannot meet the timing, please do not force yourself to. So we're going to add a little bit X. We're also going to start going for horse collar the moment these goats are, sorry, these sheep are about to be finished. Just make sure you keep your TC active at all times. Oops. Yeah, I think I can afford to go a couple. Just make sure, like I said, you're gonna make sure that you keep all your buildings active. Okay, so horse collar is gonna kick in very soon, so let's start putting down farms. So you can see my first scout has come out at 10 minutes and 30 seconds, which is way earlier than the normal. This build does really stretch you to quite a limit, so make sure that you... So if you put on like decent pressure on your opponent, you can obviously mill your deer. I thoroughly recommend it. Okay, you need to send this back. And I also recommend you go for 4 scouts, just because you will be able to hit quite a bit of rest doing this. Okay, so I chase them off gold. We're just gonna keep building. We already have double bit X and we have horse collar research. So let's just keep this pressure up. Did I forget to build a scout? Yeah, it's okay. 3 scouts, 4 scouts, it really depends on how you want to play this build. Of course, I send my Vills to deer very early instead of building farms. So I'm not gonna really have enough food to build the 4th scout. And you can see the spear has already come out, but I already vacated his gold line. If you have 4 scouts, this spear won't be a problem. Just make sure you keep building Vills. Oh, there's a lot of spears. So scary. Yeah, just keep idling him like crazy. Alright, around this time we can actually start thinking about taking our gold. So let's start taking the gold now. You can see that a lot of idle time has been bought here, and some archers are coming out as well. So we're gonna start doing a little bit of a wall. Oops. Okay, at this time we can start thinking of taking the second lumber camp. Make sure you keep spending your wood. Keep that low number. Decently low. Oh yes, and don't forget the blacksmith, because you need 2 buildings to go up. You can choose to wall your base obviously. Since you are playing Malians, you don't really spend a lot of wood. Okay, so we're reaching the ideal number very soon. Okay, we have about 18 on food. It's more than enough. Let us start researching wheelbarrow. Look for scout. So like I said, this build is very flexible, so you can choose to get up some military. You can choose to also build. You can also choose to build some archers as well. But I'm going for an FC build, which is, you can see I have 33. And by the time my wheelbarrow is finished, I can go up, which means my eco will be very strong in Castle Age, which means I can spam knights very easily. Okay, I can't seem to find that skull, but that doesn't matter. We're going up. Okay, let's start adding a few more Vills to go. Okay, so we have about 5 here, 8 here, so we're gonna take 3 of these Vills. Okay, we'll take 4. The second stable. We need a bit more on food, so we'll take some of these off. Okay, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm good to go. I've got more than enough. Rest for this. Okay. Now we start building knights. You can see I have a lot of food eco now. Well, my food eco wasn't the best management, but we're doing okay, I think. I'll take one more farm. Okay. So this build can really vary. If your opponent gets up to castle about the same time as you, you can choose to go for camels instead of knights, especially if they're playing a civ like Berbers. Start researching +2. And then we'll start flooding him with knights repeatedly until he cries. Just make sure you keep adding farms behind, so that you can have enough to go up. Oh, this guy's building a market. Smart. So yeah, this Malian build is very strong and very effective when played correctly. Of course, I'm playing against hard, so it really depends on how your enemy plays. Okay, so now I can think about getting +2 attack soon. I just need more on food. Oops, about to build a house. That in. Actually, I forgot to research husbandry. I should have researched husbandry when I hit my 6 knights earlier. My bad. Okay, now I can start thinking about going for more. Just make sure you keep the pressure on him. Okay, research this very soon. Also. We're gonna run to the back. Hello. Keep up the pressure like this and he will be dead in no time. Okay, now we're gonna TC drop. Not the best TC drop, but yeah. How do we line? There we go. That is the Malian quick build. Go up at 18, then go up at 33. Make sure you keep his Vills idle. And you're done. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.